Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Thursday. It is March 29th. Actually, it's Wednesday, March 29th. This will be our chart lesson for today. I've been a day off all week. I thought it was Wednesday yesterday, and today I'm thinking it's Thursday, and it's just Wednesday. I don't know if I'm trying to rush the week through or what, but I apologize. But anyway, it's Wednesday, March 39th, and this will be our chart lesson. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow and to wrap up our week. But I guess I'm trying to get out of here a day early. Um, I didn't draw the measured leg on here. I want to show you that. Notice we didn't quite get there today. Really, this is a range day. This is a good example of how the market will do you. This started out just like the last couple of days, and it looked like it was going to rally, but this time the rally didn't continue like it has the last couple of days. So, that's the way the market works. And just about the time you get used to it doing something, you say, okay, I got it now, I'm ready for you, and then it switches gears on you. So you always got to be flexible, and you always need to be following the price action. Um, to make sure you're headed in the right direction. But anyway, let's back out, talk about the trades. I'm going to do this pretty quickly again today. Uh, I've got an appointment I need to be at in 30 minutes, so I got 30 minutes to get this done today and get it uploaded. And it generally takes me at least that to get everything ready to go and get it before it uploads. First trade I saw, but anyway, let me back up a second. I'm trying to get ahead of myself, but it was just a range day for the most part. It's just a two-legged move in the day. And notice this was the low of the day. I love these failed breaks lowers, and a lot of times the failed break higher. Um, they turn out to be some really good trades in most cases. And just in this case, if you caught this, you caught the low of the day. Uh, if you caught this one of these up here, you might have caught the high of the day, but it turns out this is the low, and we had a nice two-legged move. Uh, so look for these failed breaks. But anyway, first trade I saw was right here. I originally had this trend line like this, and I just adjusted it a little bit. But you can see it right off those first few closes there. It fits off the bottom as well, and you could have just, if you drew that off the bottom right there and then drug it up, you can see it's a perfect fit. And so you would have been already kind of semi expecting prices to turn down here when they got here. There's not a lot of price action here to use because if you're new at this, you might have said, well, maybe this is it, and you might have drawn it like that. And notice this, that when you drag it up, it fits there too. So somebody else was actually looking at it that way, and then you might have even came over here and drawn it across like so, and that wouldn't necessarily be wrong. And then looky here, it does it again, same thing. So this is the way it's usually the first two swings, so that's why I like this one. And it's still working down. You see it was still holding here. We got a break, moved to a new low, one more push down, and then we reversed and got two legs up there. Uh, so but anyway, when I came in, prices were just kind of working sideways, and we kind of broke out up to this, up to this level here, and you got a nice bearish bar, and it's right off that trend line. If you use those first two closes, this is really your signal bar, but since this is an inside bar, you can use them together really, and your stop still needs to go above this bar. So I liked, if it broke below there, I like entering there, which it did. So I put a sell stop there. You might let it break lower and put a limit order in a tick or so back just to see if you could get a little better entry. And you really could have got a real, you could have got an entry within a tick or two of the high if you, depending on. But generally, if you try to get too conservative there, you're going to miss some good trades. So, and then it pushes on down. It does pull back again here. It doesn't break higher first, but it turns down after this big bullish bar right off the EMA. But it closes back up a couple of ticks off its low, and it's right into these lows, so I don't think you want to enter there. You might have considered going long here, because if you're drawing your lines, actually this line here, you would have had it way back up here early on. And notice that's a little failed break lower. So you might have considered going long there. You're not that far away from the EMA though, so by the end of the day, I'd move this down to here. Um, so, but notice we push up and we turn back down. You don't really get a chance to enter in this one coming back down. I wouldn't enter here short. And then you push below, and notice it tries to go up, and then it goes. Look at that real bearish bar. I guarantee you they trapped a lot of people right there trying to get short at the very low of the day, and then it went lower, then turned and went right out the other side. That's away from the EMA. I like entering there, or you could have just entered here with a limit. With a buy stop. But I like having my buy stop one tick above that when it turned and started heading that way. And that was a quick, easy move for several points. And then, of course, we work our way back here. Generally, before you go long, I like to see when it's a setup like this, I like to see two failures to the downside. So notice you made a new low, and then there's your two failures, and there's your reversal. And again, it went out the low side and turned and went out the high. That's a great setup. Let's come back to this one though. This is a failed second entry short. Notice we're moving up. First entry, second entry, and you get that big, and again, it went short and went out the other side. So I like entering there. It made me a little nervous when it pulled back again here. So I wouldn't add on here, and I wouldn't enter here if I wasn't already in. I'd wait to see if you got that third push down that fails, and it does. And notice it confirms that trend line, and we already talked about it. That's a great entry right there. And again, it comes back, and this is right off the key entry point, but it's right into those highs of the day. You don't want to go long there, and you see it didn't go very far before it turns down. And you're moving down, come back. So this is a lower high. This is a huge bar. You might consider entering there. I'm going to make it green just because it's such a big bar. I think it's a little risky to enter on that big bar right into the EMA there. If it would have ticked higher and then turned down, maybe. Just wait and see if you get that reversal pattern, which comes right here, your failed second entry long. So you could enter one tick below that bar. Again, your stop has to go above the high here. So really you're here, and then your entry is one tick below this bar. And it ticks higher here and turns, but it kind of gets hung up, and it ends up being kind of a doji. So I didn't like entering there. But then you get your another push up right here that fails. It goes higher first right off the EMA and turns down. So once again, I like going short right there. And at this point, I really thought we'd go all the way to the other side, but it doesn't. You notice we're a good bit away from, and if you draw this little channel, you can see it there. I got the trend line, but there's a little channel right there. And we get a break and a move to a new low. And we're a good bit away from the EMA. So when you got this higher low right here, I like entering long just to try to ride it back. This is where it gets kind of iffy sometimes. So you really want to make sure you're reading it right. But notice we'd had some support across here previously. If you extend your line, and really all that's probably is your midline in there. So if you bring this down to the last close here, it's probably going to be real close to the midline. I don't think it's exactly right, but it's real close. It's within a tick or so. So, and it bounces. How many times it bounced across that line, and then it goes up. So I like entering there. There's a reversal here, so you might have even entered right there, and you still had room to get out. So, you know, I probably should have marked it too. The key to this one is you just have to have room to get out. If you had room on your chart, that's a good entry. And then notice we come down, first entry, pull back, second entry. You get what looks like a close outside the line here, but that's not convincing. And so I was hesitant to go long again right there, just coming off those highs again so quickly. But when it turns back down here and then goes right out the other side, if you've got room again, I like entering there. And then notice we push up, pull back, confirm that trend line right here, get another bullish bar. And we're still looking for a retest of the high on this channel. And that's probably where we're heading. And I would be looking for that measured move like we talked about earlier. Measure that move right there and move this over. And so you're looking for that measured move. Well, my line's still there from earlier. So every time it comes back to this key entry point, you probably want to enter as if you get a setup. It comes back again here, but that's after 2 o'clock. And notice it didn't do much. But you actually, by that time too, you already have your new high in place. So you got to be real careful. You probably want to wait for second entries after that point, or a trap or something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, there were still a good many trades today. Not a bad day. Um, and later on, by the time all this stuff happened, you would have wanted this line to be way up here. So, but yeah, pretty good trading day. In the end, it's just a range day again. We did have, I would call this an upward bias because we had a two-legged move up, and we spent all except really most all of the trading day, except for maybe this from about 9:30 to about 10:30, maybe an hour. The rest of it was the trend was up, the bias was up, I should say. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a trend, but we are trending upwards. Notice when that EMA is pointing up like that, we're trending up, and when it's pointing down like that, we're trending down. So you can see most of the day it was pointed up. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up and get this uploaded so I can get out of here. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.